Cosmic surfers that the ancient Maya were and are, we cannot presume to know either their full capacities for what we would call interdimensional travel or their whereabouts. True, the shamans of highland Guatemala, the daykeepers as they are called, keep the tradition, the knowledge that binds the lightning in the blood to the harmonic flow of the galactic wisdom, and a few, like Ombudsman and Domingo Paredes, translate that wisdom for us, while still others gather with the medicine people of the Americas for a last telling of the passage between worlds. But these are the remnants, the noble few who keep the beacon of the incomprehensible timeless aflame in their hearts. Where are those whom we dubbed the Galactic Masters? What may we say of them following their departure at the end of Baktun 9? Or are their presences already here among us as the fateful days toward harmonic convergence march relentlessly? While we move forward, are the Maya coming back from the future on the return Zavuya, ready to assist us in the playing out of the final tune of the great cycle? If the Tzolk'in is a clue, a cosmic calling card left for a planet of humanoids, are there other clues elsewhere in our solar system? The two chief planets referenced in the great all-encompassing Mayan harmonic number 1366-560 are Venus and Mars. While our space probes show Venus so closely associated with Quetzalcoatl's Kukulkan to possess a dense vaporous cloud-filled atmosphere too thick to see to the bottom, Mars was waiting with at least one distinct clue, the face of Mars, a massive humanoid face looking skyward 1.5 kilometers long. The fact that the face is looking straight up to the heavens is uncanny, and leaves the immediate impression that it was executed precisely for those like ourselves, blundering into the universe with our nature-conquering pride and rocket-propelled sensing devices. Though the face was encountered on July 25, 1976, an even more uncanny clue shot through the Mayan Zavuya of time's trickery was the unexpected proposal for a monumental structure 1 mile wide, had it been built, of a face looking skyward, to be entitled The Sculpture to be Seen from Mars. Uncanny, because the sculpture was proposed 29 years prior to the Viking probe in 1947. The Year of the UFO, by Japanese-American artist Isamu Noguchi. The coincidences, synchronicities of the most profound sort involved in coming to terms with the face of Mars and Noguchi's sculpture to be seen from Mars are far too vast for the rational mind to comprehend, too immense for the little hook of scientific materialism to grasp, too unscrutable to be contained by the paltry net of the doctrine of the non-prevalence of humanoids in the universe. But from within the resonant code of the Maya, masters of light and galactic travel, synchronizers of the wave fractal that mobilizes molecules and engineers planets according to the same index, the face of Mars, the sculpture to be seen from Mars, and yes, the chevron and oval markings of the Uranian moon, Miranda, are all of a piece nodes in a resonant intergalactic web activated only by the mind wise to surrender to old paradigm and accept the new unconditional terms. Face of Mars, technology and transformation. Pakal Votan and the holders of the lineage of Quetzalcoatls of old and beyond foresaw all of this, instantaneously releasing themselves through chromo-molecular transport into the farther reaches of the galaxy whence they had come. The Mayan sages nonetheless also prepared for a return. When? Well, most certainly during the last of the 52 galactic activation cartoons. 1992 to 2012. The Khatun signified as 13 Ahu, the most exalted number, the sign of solar mastery. But even in the immediate present, their return is imminent, for the moment soon arrives when the wave endangered by the Christian figurehead Cortez in AD 1590 will be turned around. Are we meeting with the Cortez tomorrow? Holy cow. That moment is August 16th, 17th through 1987, called harmonic convergence. It's the first Mayan reentry point, a temporal planetary tollon, at which time their presence will be perceived by some as an inner light and by others as a feathered serpent, rainbow wheels turning in the air. Whoa. Accompanying the resonant frequency shift, the luminous waveforms of Quetzalcoatl will re-enter the atmosphere, signifying the commencement of the phase shift when the rate of acceleration exponentially phases into synchronization. Harmonic convergence will not only signal a return of Quetzalcoatl, but the elimination of Armageddon as well. To some, it may even be another Pentecost and second coming of Christ. Amidst spectacle, celebration, and urgency, the old mental house will dissolve, activating the return of long-dormant archetypal memories and impressions, synchronized with the descent of the new mental house. These return memories and impressions corresponding to actual collective archetype structures will saturate the field and create the impulse toward the new order and lifestyle. The chief feature of these return memories is the theme of return itself, not just the return of Christ and Quetzalcoatl, but the return of the gods and goddesses, heroes and heroines that have ever dwelled within the human imagination, for myth is no less real than history. And what is called the imagination is the function of the resonant structure called mind. It is not this same mind of ours that we hold responsible for science and for myth. Is it not the same mind of ours that we hold responsible for science and for myth? For on the Mayan Zavuya, mental event, memory, and actual happening are all nodes in the same circuit. What some would call sacred geometry and others depth psychology are unified by their being informed by the same resonant structures. In this regard, Plato and Pythagoras, Goethe and Jung are numbered among the Maya, as are all those who readily accept the doctrine of harmony in whatever form it has been transmitted to them. Whoa! The Mayan return, harmonic convergence, is the re-impregnation of the planetary field with the archetypal harmonic experiences of the planetary whole. This re-impregnation occurs through an internal precipitation as long suppressed psychic energy overflows its channels. That feels like what's been happening lately. And then, as we shall learn again, all the archetypes we need are hidden in the clouds, not just as poetry, but as actual reservoirs of resonant energy. This archetypal energy is the energy of galactic activation, stemming through us more unconsciously than consciously. Operating on harmonic frequencies, the galactic energy naturally seeks those structures resonant with it. Holy crap, dude, we're going to Mars. These structures correspond to bioelectrical impulses connecting the sense fields to actual modes of behavior. The impulses are organized into primary geometric structures that are experienced through the immediate environment, whether it be the environment of clouds seen by the naked eye or eerie pulsation of a quasar received through the assistance of a radio telescope. How many images did you see my face turn into the other day?
A lot.
Like 5 or 6?
I didn't count. Yeah.
So you were seeing faces of you, maybe. That's what the design of it is to see the reflections of what's in.
The first one I definitely thought was me. After that, I didn't really think about it.
As the acknowledgement of our responsibility as humans on this planet reaches a critical mass, the moment of archetypal overflow will be triggered, releasing the fetters of the old paradigm and imprinting the new upon a critical mass of humans in one moment of resonant baptism. There's the stardust. I'm telling you, it's going to get fun. Then the past, the forgotten, and yes, even the what is to come will become conscious. The return is actually a making conscious of what has been storing up, and at the time, an increase in knowing. We shall see the events which the old paradigm refused to acknowledge, had been turned into forms of fear in our mind. In what fresh moment of seeing harmonic convergence we shall know that fear no longer. That's what the message of the Mayans was in 2011. No fear, no fear, no fear. For in consciousness is light. This is what is meant by the return of Quetzalcoatl. For others, this moment will be the vision of the feathered rainbow serpent, wheels turning in the air. 144,000 predicted by prophecy of the Zavoya. Combined with the natural condition of things at the moment, a new zeal will be born into that ill-fated creature, 20th century man. Through the zeal, a signal shall come tumbling forth, releasing from the matrix a campaign for the earth, the opportunity for human self-redemption. What? As the initial move back toward the central evolutionary stream, from which plumb line and late industrial civilization represented a notable aberration, the campaign for the earth will be activated by archetypal characters, humans playing out impressions reprinted by galactic frequencies on harmonic convergence. I get to be Wonder Woman! Not only that, but many humans will also learn that they are playing out variations of the same imprinting.
Whoa.
Not only that, but many humans will also learn that they are playing out variations of the same imprinting. Common memory will possess the planet once again. Chief among the returning common archetype memories and impressions will be those of King Arthur and the kingdom of Shambhala.
Oh my God. So since people have put so much thought into that, certain people are going to be playing those parts, basically.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And some of us are holding space for those parts.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The archetypal resonance calls for a circle, a round table of 12 knights and a king. The magic 13 once again to restore the kingdom of Avalon. Avalon is earth, and the kingdom is our consciousness, resonant stewardship of this fair earth. As a clan pledge to warriorhood, the Knights of the Round Table will be reborn as the willingness to mobilize and sacrifice on behalf of the cause of earth, which is the cause of light. All true warriorhood is bound by service to the light. With the Arthurian Round Table recapitulates the Mayan 13, the myth of Shambhala, the mystic kingdom of Central Asia, is an echo of the 9 lords of galactic destiny. The Mayan lords of time, called in Tibet the 9 great Law, LHA. The kingdom of Shambhala itself is the 9th and central feature in a valley surrounded by 8 great mountains. Its inhabitants inspired by the teachings of Kalachakra Tantra, the wheel of time received through their kings. All attained to a condition of collective enlightenment, whence they were no longer visible upon earth. But, according to the teachings left behind, a return is promised to help rid the world of the scourge of the 3 lords of materialism. This return is in the form of the release of a collective archetype known as the warriors of Shambhala. The purpose of the return is to establish the kingdom of Shambhala on earth. But then, how different is this from the return of Avalon? From the injunctions of Christ regarding entry into the kingdom of heaven, or the return of Quetzalcoatl to restore the new reign of 13 heavens. Each archetypal variation is strung out like a bead of insight upon the Mayan Zavoya, as multiple resonance myth opens the gates to a reality that is profoundly interdimensional.